Hi guys, Zahir Murray here, co-founder of Sublime Trading. Here we did daily update for the UK and US indices for Thursday, the 14th of May. Alright guys, hope you're well. So an interesting couple of days in the stock market, starting with the UK index, the Footsie 100. We've seen further weakness from from Tuesday's price action. We saw further weakness through Wednesday, so another 2 to 3% drop in price. Interestingly, however, price is still inside the range of April, so too early to start calling a top or a reversal in the market. We want to see support levels cleared if price is continuing to the downside, particularly the low of March. So what are we seeing right now? We're seeing price just really stuck in a range. We want to see a breakout either of the high or the low for a trend direction to be ultimately confirmed. And if we are going to see further strength, then we've also got the 200 moving average really that we want to see cleared. Moving to the US indices, again further weakness, another 2 to 3% drop in price. On the Dow Jones, on the S&P 500, we saw price break through the 20 simple moving average and is now finding support at the 50 simple moving average. On the Nasdaq, price pulled back further to the 20 simple moving average and the 9,000 round number. So I mentioned previously that when price breaks through a round number, it likes to pull back to retest it. So we could be seeing simply a retest of the round number before further strength back to the upside. Now, on social media, you'll be seeing reports of people calling tops and a continuation of this bear market. Too early, way too early to be calling a bear market, way too early calling a bull market. What we could be seeing here is a pullback before a continuation of this bullish revival since March, or if support levels are broken, then we could be seeing further weakness, particularly if the low of March is taken out. Then we are very much in a bear market continuation. But for now, we're inside an area of consolidation or a range, and we want to see a clear breakout. So patience for now. Let's move into the charts and catch up with price action.
So guys, if you're new to these daily updates, I recommend starting with the recording that's pinned to the top of our Facebook page so that you get a good understanding as to what I go through in this chart section of the daily updates. Okay, so this is our 3-screen setup. We have the monthly in the top left, weekly in the top right, and our daily charts here across the bottom. First chart we look at is the Footsie 100. Price still finding support at this area here, which is the low of 2016. That's February 2016. And if we look at the most recent candlestick, that's the month of May, we can see that it's inside the range of April. So at the moment, price is just inside this area of consolidation with the 6,000 round number above price just acting as an immediate area of resistance. You can see that in more detail on the weekly time frame. Price is below the 200 moving average, below the 50 simple moving average. We're still in this pullback, so a bearish looking week so far. It is Thursday, we still have Friday to go, so this candlestick could look very different by the end of play tomorrow. But what we can see is that £6,000 round number acting as resistance. If we come down to the daily time frame, price is below the 200 moving average. It's broken through the 20 simple moving average today, but finding support at the 50 simple moving average. So if we start seeing further support levels broken, then we could potentially be seeing price move back to the low of March, or this is simply be a pullback. Price could find an area of support and then we could see a bounce back to the upside. We really want price to dictate by breaking through areas of support or resistance to confirm a trend direction. If price remains inside these areas, then ultimately price is just in a consolidation. Okay, moving across to the US market, starting with the Dow Jones. If we look at the month of May, we can see that there is bearishness creeping in, although price is still above the low of 2019, which is acting as support. On the weekly time frame, this week's price action has taken price below the 200 moving average. Price is below the 50 simple moving average. If we come down to the daily time frame, price is below the 200 moving average, below the 20 moving average, but finding support at the 50 simple moving average. So you can see why we like to use the 20 and the 50 simple moving averages, because they do act as immediate areas of support and resistance. So what we could potentially see now is price find support here and then a bounce back up. Or if this area is cleared, then we could potentially start seeing weakness back towards this area of support, which is the low of March. So at the moment though, we can see prices just inside this area of consolidation. If we move to the S&P 500, similar setup, we can see that the month of May is looking bearish so far. If we move across to the weekly time frame, price is very much above the 200 moving average, but below the 50 simple moving average. And if we come down to the daily time frame, price is below the 200 moving average, below the 20 moving average, but above the 50 simple moving average. Overall though, price is just inside this area of consolidation. So once again, we want to see a breakout either with resistance levels being cleared or support levels being cleared. As this current move to the upside is bullish, what we would like to see is price break through the 200 moving average and that 3,000 round number, and then start moving back to the all-time high. On the Nasdaq, leading the way, we've mentioned this a number of times, price actually trading above the high of last year. So a bullish April that took price above the high of last year, and then May has been looking bullish as well. If we move across to the weekly, price above the 200 and above the 50 simple moving average. The candlestick for this week is bearish so far. We can see that the pullback has taken price back to the 9,000 round number. You can see that in more detail on the daily. Price above the 200, price above the 50, and price above the 20 simple moving averages. You can see this pullback has taken price to the 20 simple moving average. You can see it's found support. If you look at the bottom of this candlestick, there's a wick. So the bulls came in, pushed price back up, and we can see that price is around that 9,000 round number. So what we've seen is a breakthrough 9,000, a pullback to retest it. So again, what we want to see now is price find support, and then a breakout above this high, and then a move towards the all-time high. And if the Nasdaq does that, then we can expect the S&P and the Dow Jones to do similar moves, as they all tend to move in unison. Moving across to the S&P 500 mini, the month of May is looking bearish as is expected. On the weekly time frame, price above the 200 moving average but below the 50 moving average. You can see it's a bearish looking week so far, but remember, we want to see how the week ends to have a much better indication of what kind of candlestick we could be dealing with and what we could be seeing through to next week. And on the daily time frame, price is below the 200, below the 20 but above the 50. So again, we can see this pullback coming in. So far today, a little bit of bearishness coming in, but price is at a support level of sorts in relation to the 50 simple moving average. There are some pivot levels ahead, and also across the other indices, price is faced with support. So what we now want to see, as mentioned, a clear move either to the upside with resistance levels being broken, particularly the 200 moving average, and on the Dow Jones and the S&P 500, we want to see the 200 moving average to suggest strength. Or if we start seeing support levels broken, then we could see weakness back to the low of March. For now, standing aside, waiting for price to indicate a clear direction. That's me for today, guys. Please like, comment and share. Let's get these recordings out there. Let's get people understanding how to use the indices correctly to create solid investment portfolios. And I will see you on tomorrow's recording.